So I do have to say that while last year we did see a record high in investments that came into the renewable energy, and we also saw a fairly good amount of renewables being deployed on the ground. But unfortunately, that's not enough. We are not fully on track to reach the 1.5 degrees centigrade target which we would like to see. And for that, I think what's important is that we need to disaggregate what needs to be done by, so that there are groups of countries that not just put out the intent, but take the requisite actions, whether in policy, regulations, permitting processes, to be able to actually have that kind of deployment on the ground. We do think from IRENA's side that currently we are about 3,000 gigawatts of renewables that have been deployed. We need to reach about 10,700, which is, trebling. And this is not going to be easy. The grids have to get investment and build the flexibility. We often forget that the infrastructure and the investment in infrastructure is equally important. So while we have to keep focusing on getting more renewables deployed on the ground, but we also have to simultaneously build and invest in the infrastructure that will allow this to happen.
وفي ظل ما يشهده الاقتصاد العالمي من تقلبات وارتفاع في نسب الفائدة وتأثيرها على عملية التمويل، كل هذه عوامل وتحديات قد تؤثر على عملية تحول الطاقة. هل برأيك أننا سنحقق مستهدفات عام 2030؟
Without a doubt. I absolutely agree with what you're saying. We are seeing the interest rates harden. We are seeing that climate finance has to be eased up much more to get it to to investments in renewables and energy efficiency. But what we also think is that energy transition is a very complex process. It's not something that will happen, seamlessly. There will be some kind of bumps along the way, and we need to be prepared for those challenges and address them as we move along. So while there will be challenges of how to get the climate financing together, there will be challenges of getting the investment into the grids and increasing their flexibility. But I think what's important to know is that the money exists. It's just that how do we create the right kind of vehicles to be able to channel it to where it's needed. And I think that's going to be the big challenge of the discussions that happen at the COP, that how do we actually create those vehicles that will get the money to the developing and emerging economies, get them along into this whole piece of energy transition. It's no one saying it's going to be easy, but it's not as if we as a global community don't have the wherewithal of how we can address it. I think we need to, the intent is there, we need to now create the strategy and the implementing framework for it.
في تقريركم الأخير حول النظرة المستقبلية لتحولات الطاقة في العالم، ترون أن العالم بحاجة لاستثمارات بقيمة 44 تريليون دولار من الآن وحتى عام 2030، وذلك لإبقاء عملية تحول الطاقة على المسار الصحيح. حصة التقنيات من هذه الاستثمارات تصل إلى 35 تريليون دولار. هل تتوقعين بأن تتحقق هذه المستهدفات؟
So I think what we are saying is that in terms of channeling investment, we still have a gap. So the amount of money we need to be able to get to the targets that we hope we will by the end of this decade, we still need to more than double the investment that's going into renewables. But alongside, what's also a challenge is, and it's not about the technologies. The technologies we need are there. It's about getting in investments into projects in countries that are ready with their policies to move forward with more renewables in their grid. And I think that is going to be some of the issues that we hope at the COP28 there will be not just a discussion, but also a way forward, a clear way forward of how we can be there.